Part 2 of the lab, and it's to program GPIO as input. So when the switch is not pushed in this circuit diagram here, the GPIO should detect a high signal or a signal of 1. When the switch is pushed, the GPIO should detect a low signal or a signal of 0. We begin this lab by inputting all of these codes into programming in Python 2 idle, and we press enter after all of those codes to come up with this string of code.
Okay, so the import rPy GPIO is again to allow the Pi to recognize our GPIO commands, and then GPIO setup mode, GPIO BCM. This allows us to use pin numbers from the ribbon on the Pi of the different inputs and output or GPIO pins, and then GPIO setup 17 GPIO in is allowing us to set up our input signal of our GPIO, and then here you see we have been testing our GPIO typing GPIO input 17 allows us to see what the current signal is for our GPIO. So for example, here is the breadboard based on that schematic.
So this red wire represents the 3.3 volts going in and running across the 10K resistor. This yellow wire is connected to GPIO 17 and it's in parallel with this bit, and then this white wire is a switch which can open and close to ground the black wire. So right now, since the switch is in, if we were to run the GPIO input command, we get a 0. Now if we were to take the switch out, or depress the switch and run the input command again, we get an output of 1. So this is correct in how the lab was supposed to operate.